This is Ron Higgins, columnist for TigerDetails.com, and we're outside the LSU Football Operations Center. Practice was completed here on a Tuesday afternoon, getting a little bit closer to game day against Florida State a week from Sunday. And Brian Kelly just finished his press conference, met with the media. Today we got to see 30 minutes of practice. We're supposed to see a whole practice, but it rained and a change of practice schedule. We saw the first 30 minutes of practice. We saw the defense on the artificial turf outside. Offense was on the inside. Didn't get a chance to see them, so we saw very little. So we were eager to see and hear what Brian Kelly had to say, and he was quite candid. He thought, as far as the preseason practice, he said today was our best day, best speed. We practiced with a purpose. Thought that it was clean, it was efficient. He felt like it wasn't just a check the box off another day of training camp day. He said it felt like we were getting ready for a game, and in essence, in about 2 or 3 days, it will start to get ready for a game. Also, in 2 or 3 days, by this weekend, you should have a starting quarterback. Now, whether it be announced immediately or not, we don't know. We meet with Kelly again on Monday. He may, to start the Florida State week. He may have it by then. And he said he's comfortable either one of them. He's played it down the middle pretty much. So he said he believes he can win in the SEC with either one of these quarterbacks, with Jaden Daniels or Garrett Nussmeier. Either one, he thinks believes he can win with. And he said it's a tight race. And he looked around our room and said if we took a vote of all the media in here, it'd probably be a split vote of who you thought would be the starting quarterback. I'll go on record, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think it's Jaden Daniels will probably get the first stamp against Florida State, but I've been wrong before. So, also they talked about that he's left to have Jack Besh and Chris Hilton back healthy again at wide receiver. He wants to play 6 or 7 guys in rotation. He wants to keep the rotation very, very fresh in games. They want to play fast, he said, want to play with tempo, want to push the ball downfield. And so to do that, he says he needs a lot of fresh people in the game, so he's going to try to rotate 6 or 7 receivers in there. Also mentioned Kyron Lacey and Jeray Jenkins. Jeray Jenkins, to me, is like the most underrated receiver on this team. He just goes out and makes plays. Nobody really talks about him that much, but then you look at the stats, and he's got quite a few catches. It's kind of like the hidden weapon on this wide receiving core, and every time I've seen him, he's produced. But he doesn't get the headlines, certainly like Booty, whatever you want to call him. Just a fast dude who can catch the ball. His first team preseason AP All-American, Kayshon Booty or Butte. Complimented McLean Neighbors. Talked about how in this training camp is different from the spring, that he's learned to play with more consistency every day. So he's the same guy every day, brings the same effort, same approach, and Kelly was really pleased with him. Defensively, he said some of the goals of this team. He said between the 20s, this team, he basically wants to get the opposing offense behind in the chains or off schedule, like a second and deep, and then second and long. Wants to take takeaways with the football, pressure the football, and also wants to get off the field in third down. These are basic things that any defense wants to do. Can they do it with this group? We'll see. Let's see what else we had here. So it's been a good camp. No major injuries in this camp. They've avoided that, which is a good thing, because there's been some years where, well, take last year, for instance. Last year they had so many injuries in preseason camp. It was ridiculous. And really wasn't so much hitting. It was like that guys were just playing a foot and fall over. Possibly overtrained in the summer. Maybe they were overtrained here last summer. Maybe a different philosophy, a different strength coach. Found a different way to train them, got them stronger and faster without their bodies breaking down the preseason. That could help. We'll see what happens. They've got through with no major injuries, which is good. Talked about Mike Denbrock, his offensive coordinator, said he's been with him a long time. He trusts him to call the plays. He says he knows how I want to run offense and what I like. And so he complimented his somebody who's been with God Kelly forever. And he really trusts him, and he trusts the way he calls plays. Calls him being very intuitive and smart. And he says he knows he likes to run an offense, a physical offense, but also push the ball downfield. So we'll see what happens this first game, because Florida State's already haven't played a game, and LSU will not. Also, one interesting the kicking game. He feels like Jay Bramlett, his punter from Notre Dame, basically he's kind of won the punting job. I think that's been, from what we've seen in the practices we've been to watch the punting, that's kind of a foregone conclusion. But as far as the place kicker right now, he said the leader is Damian Ramos, who was with the team last year. I think it was redshirted. Didn't see any game action. He said he's got the lead right now as place kicker. I don't know how much of a lead that is. It could be, a lot or short. But you got Eskiel Mata, and you also got the freshman battling for that spot. So you don't know when that decision will be made. We're going to talk to Brian Polian tomorrow night. Maybe he can give some more insight on special teams, especially when we don't know about the return game yet. So maybe tomorrow night at this time, we'll talk to Brian Polian, special teams coordinator, and we'll get some insight on that. So other than that, it was a rainy day. We got a lot of work done, and the best part about the rain today was that the guy with that damn leaf blower, he's not out here. He don't like rain either. Anyway, we will get back to you tomorrow night with Brian Polian and what he said. Have a good night.